Coach, look, you're a 10 seed and you're back in the championship game. It's probably exactly the way you drew it up, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Just first off, I told these guys I'm a baby. I'm a crier. You know, I try to be tough, but I'm a crier, and so sorry. These guys are amazing. You know, we've been through adversity. We battled, and you know what? I've just seen these guys mature and turn into good young men, and you know it's. I'm just proud of them, and it goes bigger than wins and losses. It really does. It's just see these guys mature and develop and reset and stay on their games. Something I'll be proud of. One thing I'll say, and I probably won't talk after this anymore, but ran into Matthew Gonzales yesterday after at the Rio Rancho Event Center, and there's a culture and there's a history here that we've done something special, and these guys understand it. And when I saw him and he said, Coach, he said, man, you guys are good. It wasn't seeds, it wasn't anything else other than he looked at these kids, and we looked at these kids and say, hey, you know what, we have some true warriors here, and I'm just super proud of every one of them.
You had a good time with their student section right after the game. That had to be pretty satisfying. Let's talk about that.
I've been counted out for everything. I put a lot of emotion. Everyone sees that, but I just really care. So when people are talking to me, I love it. That's what the game is about. I want to prove everyone wrong. I'm 5'7", 5'5". I'm already at a disadvantage. So when I'm playing, I put a lot of heart because I know that's going to be a good win. And I know I'm not the tallest, I'm not the strongest, but I'm going to give you the whole effort. I'm going to play 36 minutes every time if I can. Do everything for this team, do everything for Coach Adam, everyone. I'm just so excited. I can't believe we did it. Everyone counted us out every single time. 10 seed. And what do? We just beat the 6, the 2, and who else? The 7. And we beat St. Mike's. We're going to be here tomorrow.
You guys are getting him going again.
It doesn't take much to get Michael Marr.
No, sir.
Did you hear all the stuff they were saying to you?
No.
You blocked it out?
I just heard small, but...
Yeah.
I'll tell you some of the things they said.
Right.
Okay. I like that.
You scored 17 in the first 27 points for this team. You're the only thing working offensively. Did you feel the burden having to carry the load a little bit?
This is my 4th year being here as a junior, and so I've been here before. I've experienced this, and I think my team came out with a little bit of nerves, but that's when I have their back. And when I missed those 2 shots there at the end, my team had my back at the end. So we're a team. We play as one, and when I'm down, they're up, and when they're down, I'm up. Or I don't know if I said that right, but yeah. So we just got each other's backs.
You're running into a district opponent tomorrow. Either the St. Mike's or the Indian School. I think a lot of people thought one of those 2 teams would get this far, but I don't think anyone really did. It's like what Michael's saying. People counted you guys out.
Yeah.
How much of a motivator? I even probably asked you this the other day. How much of a motivator was the 10 seed for this team?
I think one thing is we wanted to just get through a process. I told them I'm very particular about little things, and sometimes it takes me talking for an hour with these guys rolling their eyes saying, when's this coach gonna stay quiet? But it takes all those little things, and I knew if they bought in, we would get there. The other side of it, and I told these guys again, is I'm petty. I'll take anything and everything and use it, and we stay pretty quiet on our side, but we listen, we hear, we talk, and we know what's being said, we know how people feel, and we use it, and regardless of what happens from here forward, I'm proud of these guys, and I feel like they've turned into some pretty good young men, and I just love that. So.
Was there a turning point to the season? Because you're 20-12, but it seems like what you mentioned the other day, you guys really didn't figure out your own identity until late in the season. But was there a moment where you thought, like, all right, this is who we are, we got this?
I don't know. What do you guys think? I know we've talked about that before, but I think we kind of mapped out the season, and we knew we were going to struggle to start. I told the guys, we looked at our schedule, and we played a bunch of 4A schools. We got beat by Valencia, beat by Taos, beat by Belen, and I don't care what anybody says. You get beat enough times, and it wears you down. And I told these guys, you know, we can either step up or fold. And you know, we went on a run with, you know, Manzano probably started, I would say. Manzano, Sandia Prep, Bosque, beat some of those teams. And, you know, I think we said, hey, if we keep our cool, you know, we can play ball, learn to be kind of a warrior without the extra, you know, I think we can do it. And I think that's when it started turning. But the other side of it is just seeing these guys, you know, in the bus, you know, at the restaurants, you know, getting along, you know, cleaning up their areas, you know, maturing. And that's what I told me, a young team that needed to mature. And I think it's just been a process that's played out.
You guys could not hit a three-pointer to save your lives. And what I did notice is that you established your offense by just taking the ball right to the basket.
Yes,
and,
sir.
You know, Gonzales is doing his own thing, but how frustrating was not hitting a three?
You're like 0 for 7 from 3.
Yeah.
That's terrible. But like, I had 8 assists too. I knew I wasn't gonna make a jumper to save my life, so I just was passing it to Nate or Brennan. And Brennan came up big for us, especially Marcus hit, I think, 2 threes to tie it
hit
up.
that second one, yeah.
So yeah, it was just about, my shot wasn't falling, but I was just giving it to Nate because Nate had, no one could stop Nate.
Yeah.
They hit that 3 with 20 seconds left in the fourth quarter, and of course the buzzer sounds. You guys go to overtime. What did you say to these guys, and what did you guys maybe say to each other to kind of regroup in that period?
I told the guys I was proud of you again, huh?
Yeah.
You know, I think basketball is more a feeling than X's and O's sometimes, and it took me a while to learn that, right? I'm kind of nerdy, and you know, I look at analytics and I look at stuff, and you know, I've learned that it's a feeling, right? And these guys started moving, they started pressing, they started hustling, they started getting to the right spots, and honestly, when you see that, I can live with the outcome. You know, we've won just as many state championships as we lost. And, you know, I tell these guys, you leave it all out there. You guys play your hardest. We win or lose the right way. I'll live with it. And that's kind of what it was. It's just, hey, let's keep playing. So.
They had most of their student section here. Where was everyone from Las Vegas? Are you guys in school today?
No.
Where was all the Vegas people?
They were there. We have them, you know,
Like 5 people over there, man. You guys need more people.
No, we had a whole crowd, you know, and I it goes to say again, and I think that's kind of the beauty of Robertson sometimes is not very loud. You know, we can be loud to refs and a little bit annoying on the court and stuff, but you know, these guys support each other. But it's, you know, it's not a, you know, let's paint our shirts and, you know, wear real stuff. But you know, we'll get text and, you know, we'll talk to them, and we have a strong community that supports us. And at the end of the day, that's what we love about us.
Because you're boring. You've been here 5 years in a row. People expect it.
Yeah. Well, we'll take boring. I'm the definition of boring, I think so.
It's not like you guys had like a ton of time to like prep for Bosque and all that. Obviously, when you looked at Bosque and saw kind of what they did and what they're doing on this run in particular, what did you kind of feel you had to do to kind of, you know, to come up with winning result?
Yeah, you know, like Coach Gerard, I mean, I have just a ton of respect for him. He was coaching when I was in high school, you know, and I kind of sat there and said, okay, what's he gonna do? And I knew that he was sitting there saying, what's Adam gonna think I'm gonna do? And so a lot of times, it's again, you know, going back to, I like these guys to play free. I don't care for set offenses. They know that. And so I think it's just a matter of who can adjust and how fast they can adjust. So he came out and he pressed right away, and I said, this guy, bro, he is gonna press. You know, I thought he was gonna drop back, pack it in, and have all his trees guard everybody. He didn't. He pressed. They scored 4 points right away, or 4. They went out us, and I said, okay, well, he's doing it. You know, so I think it's a, you know, the ultimate game of chess, and you know, I don't know that there's so much of prep other than just, you know, being ready to adjust on the fly.
Gentlemen,
Congratulations.
boys.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.